Hello, race fans, and welcome to Daytona. And I just realized that I forgot to switch the logos. But anyway, welcome back to Daytona for the NASCAR Coke Zero Cup Series for the Daytona 250. And without further ado, let's go over today's starting lineup. SHR steals the pole and the first four spots. Almirola, Briscoe, Cindric, and Harvick, all Stewart-Haas Racing, followed by Cody Huddleston, Ryan Blaney, Corey Heim, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Josh Berry, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, AJ Allmendinger, Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman, Kyle Larson, Noah Gragson, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Justin Allgaier, Striker Bernoulli, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Corey LaJoie, Tyler Reddick, Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, and finally Chris Buescher to round up today's starting lineup. So SHR has stole the pole for today's race. You see them all right there. The 41, the 14, the 10, and the 4. They all stole the pole in the first 4 spots, which is quite ironic. We've never had a team do that before until today. As we're about to get the engines to fire here. Give me 1 second. I gotta make sure that the recording doesn't stop if my files will load. I gotta get rid of okay. Give me 1 second. Sorry you had to see that. As the engines fire here at Daytona. Making sure I got all the stuff right. And I do. As today marks a impressive feat of engineering, starting the Season 10 opener. We know you can't wait, and we can't wait for this season to get underway. The sun's setting over Daytona, and these cars are about to go the distance. As here we go, the pace car making that hard left turn on the pit road. Season 10 of the NASCAR Coke Zero Cup Series point season begins now. Green flag in the air. We're racing at Daytona. As they rocket into turn 1. So far, everybody's pretty single file. Maintaining their own area. We saw what the We saw at the Sprite Series yesterday. What this camera angle is weird. As Chase Briscoe takes over the lead. We saw with the Sprite Series yesterday, everyone was destined to go three wide, and it caused a bunch of wrecks. Hopefully we don't have a bunch of wrecks today, as Almirola jumps back up to that high side with no help. Now, here they come to the start-finish line. Briscoe is going to lead the first lap. By a bumper. By a bumper. Briscoe led the first lap. Almirola's back in front now. He's leading the bottom lane now. Harvick was almost destined to give Blaney the inside of him. Matthew Lutz, or sorry, not Matthew Lutz, Josh Berry, I'm sorry. Josh Berry back there. And at 24 as Almirola takes back over the lead. He's got a pretty big gap. You don't want to create too much of a gap. Oh, Blaney got shifted out. Blaney up to that high side. Yeah, Ryan Blaney just getting shifted out. Trying to let him back in line. There you go. The top lane, that very top lane starting to go. So, I don't know if we're going to be able to have that. Briscoe takes back over the lead. It's just been a flip-flop of who can take the lead and win. Harvick thought about jumping down there to that middle, behind Briscoe, but look at this, the top lane's starting to go now. Yeah, William Byron up there in that 5, he wants to go with Harvick, but Harvick jumped back down onto the bottom, left these 3 cars outside. Yeah, only 3 cars up there on that high side right now. William Byron leads the top pack up here. Joey Logano thinking about going back down to the inside, and he does. Yep, there he goes. Leaves just 2 cars, 23 and the 5. But Chase Briscoe back up to the lead. Harvick now coming with a push. It looks like Austin's sitting. No, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott getting a push from Kyle Busch there. Head down the back straightaway. Yeah, Chase Briscoe getting pushed by 2 of his teammates. One of his teammates outside with the 4 of Harvick. And that third lane is trying to get started up here. That third lane is really trying to get started up. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it or not, because of how lack of cars they got up there. I mean, you see the middle and the bottom lane, and they are right now they are bigger than the very outside lane. So if they really want that top lane to work, they got to all work together. Now, there's only 4 cars out there. Reddick's thinking about coming up. Nope, decided better of it. Had another car jump up out there. Here comes Harvick. Harvick to the lead. Yeah, now it leaves the gap for Chase Elliott getting pushed by Kyle Busch there. Just giving him a little bit of room there. Just enough there to get pushed. But that bottom lane surges ahead with all those teammates on the bottom. You have 4 teammates. All 4 of them are 4 teammates. And look at this. Almirola going to the outside. He's looking for a push. Giving the Chase Elliott that draft that he needs to get up to him. And Chase Elliott gives him that push, and will he dive in front of his teammate? That is the question. Yes, he will. That leaves hit. Look how much of a gap. You don't want that big of a gap, because now you're going to stall out. Now you're going to get freight trained on the outside, and now this gives Chase Elliott the lead right here. Chase Elliott drives down. Yes, he does. Austin Dillon on the very top, helping that outside lane. Reddick thinking about going up there now. Now he sees Dillon up there. Now he's got no choice. Now he got tight right there in the middle. That air started pulling him around a little bit. And at that point, he was committed. Look at this. Almirola going to the outside of Chase Elliott with no help at all. And this is not like the Sprite Series cars where you can just side draft the heck out of them. Side drafting works, but not as much as the Sprite Series does. And only 3 cars right there on that outside lane. Kyle Busch thinking about, will he go down to the bottom there and leave Austin Dillon? He will. He will leave Austin Dillon. But look at this. The 2 Fords of Briscoe and Cindric now leave their other teammates to go up to the outside, push Dylan to help Dylan. Harvick jumping out to the outside now as well, leaving that bottom lane. Huddleston comes up and fills that lane. Huddleston is going to move up to 4th here unless they get a big run. Look at Joey Logano jumping out of line to get that 3rd lane running. 19 laps left in stage 1, but you gotta think, is this too early to make a move like this? As William Byron jumps from the back of the pack up to the top lane. Look how much of a run William Byron got. And this is the thing with the next-gen cars. They create so much of a run at super speedways. It's hard to get them to go as Almirola takes back over the lead. Harvick thinking about jumping up to the outside. Logano does not like the push that the 11 of Hamlin just gave to him. Didn't like it at all. Ooh, the 3 pushing the 4 really, really hard there. Getting the 4 out of line. And we saw with the sprint cars and everything yesterday. Whenever they went 3 wide, they started panicking. The driver started panicking, and then they caused the wrecks. So hopefully we can keep this race at least a little bit more green than what we had with the Sprite Series. But Almirola right now getting pushed by... You see right there what we're talking about. When the 3 pushes the 4, it gets him really, really squirrely. And you don't want that as a driver. You don't want to be squirrely like that. You want to have a center push. If you don't have that center push, you make the car in front of you wiggle around, and then soon you're going to wreck it. But they jumped out to the outside lane, which is actually kind of surprising to me. I wasn't sure if they were going to jump to the outside lane. Now they jump to the bottom. Look at Huddleston jumping out of line. Huddleston is pretty confident with that top lane. He wants to get up there and lead a couple laps. Get some laps under his belt. It's weird seeing all these cars, but look what's up in front. All 3 manufacturers being promoted here. Ford, Toyota, and Chevrolet. All 3 of them at the front of this pack. See him snake right there. That's something you don't want to see, really, is just the snaking effect, because that means that the cars aren't centered. They don't want to be centered. Huddleston jumping up to that very outside lane. That might have been a... Well, here comes the outside lane. As soon as I was going to say that might have been a bad idea. No, Huddleston jumps up to the outside lane. Now the outside lane is starting to fall apart. AJ Allmendinger jumps out of line. You know, with these cars, with how sensitive these cars are, you'd think that pushing wouldn't be allowed. Whoa, what a save. Who was that? I think that was Eric Jones that saved that. I think it was. Got pushed out of line, almost got turned sideways back into the field. That would have been a big crash if that would have happened. No, it was the 99 of Suarez. It was Daniel Suarez that saved that car. Here comes AJ Allmendinger with a push from the 19 of Corey Heim up there on the top lane. Now everybody's back to 2 wide, maybe 3 wide in the back. No, well, yeah, a little bit of 3 wide action back there in the back with. No, not anymore. William Byron stuck on the top there. He's gonna get freight trained on the top there. He's gonna fall all the way to the back. But Eric Almirola leading this pack really, really well. That outside lane just cannot get up there. That outside lane is just stuck there. They cannot get up there. I don't know. Like, it's just like it's stalling out or something. That bottom lane is definitely the lane to go with if you want to come up there and lead this race. Huddleston has fallen all the way back to 20th when he jumped out of line there. Look at this, Kyle Busch He jumped out of line with Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman leaves him out to dry. The middle lane now, the top lane. I'm saying everything but the thing I want to say. The top lane picks up Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch looking for his first career win and his first career stage. Kyle Busch has not won a stage in his career ever since we introduced him. Now Chase Elliott doing a really good job pushing this 41, making sure that he doesn't push him too hard to get him squirrely or nothing. He's doing a phenomenal job. We might see him move up to the top here pretty soon. With that run coming with Kyle Busch, I wouldn't really jump out now unless you see that run's coming. Unless your spotter says, "Hey, they got to run on the high side. Jump up now." You know, that's the time when I would actually jump up there and try to lead this race. But right now, it's just not. There's no top lane. Once you get in the corners, there's no top lane. Not to mention the very top lane, the third lane, starting to get going here. More cars now starting to jump back down into the middle lane as they're starting to freight train down at the bottom. Yeah, Almirola leading the most laps he's ever led so far. Remember, he's led 1 lap, and that's all the laps he needed to lead. And he won 3 times last season. 11 laps to go. People are starting to run out of patience. You saw Alex Bowman jump up to the top. Right there with Kyle Busch. Now, will Chase Elliott jump up there? No, he won't, but Noah Gragson will. Gragson up to the top. There's a big gap between Elliott. Not anymore, but there was a big gap between Elliott and Keselowski. Gragson up to the lead now, riding on board with Aric Almirola. You can see the 44 right there, right beside him. Now, does he have enough momentum to slide down in front of him? He does, and he doesn't have that big of a gap to fill right now. That third lane's starting to get working. 10 laps to go in stage 1. Alex Bowman up there on the top. I hate to say this, but I think it was a bad idea to jump up there. And look at this. Speaking of bad ideas, Almirola just jumped out to the top lane. Now the third lane's starting to get going. Almirola somehow passed it. Oh, he's got help with a 4th teammate of Keselowski pushing him up there. I thought he was all by himself doing that. Now he's got too much of a gap. Watch what's going to happen. Unless it doesn't happen like I think is going to happen. It's not going to happen. But what I thought was going to happen where Almirola was so far in front, I thought that Noah Gragson would see that and jump up to the outside and pass him again, but he didn't do that. He stayed right behind Almirola. There he goes. There he goes. Up to the top side, but there's no help. There's nobody back there to help him. Daniel Suarez thinking about jumping out there. Not going to do it. Chase Elliott jumps out of line. There's no help on the top side. Chase Elliott's got to worry about side drafting. Now that Keselowski jumps out to the third lane. But guess what? There is no third lane. It's all but gone. Now Keselowski is going to fall back. Oh boy. Chase Elliott side by side with Almirola. Who will lead this lap? Chase Elliott. Now Chase Elliott jumps down in front of Almirola. Now that big gap is opening back up. That third lane is back for a bit anyway. And now it's fading off. Here comes Almirola back down to the bottom of Chase Elliott. Or back on top. And he is going to take the lead back again with help from Daniel Suarez. 3 wide for second. Ryan Blaney up there leading that top lane. They got to pick him up. They got to pick him up. There he goes. The third lane is up there now. Chase Elliott back in front just by a nose, and he barely led that lap. battle right now for the lead here at Daytona. Chase Elliott way out in front. He gets moved out of the way by Ryan Blaney. That is a big gap that has to be filled, and Alex Bowman does fill it. But now there's no help for Ryan Blaney. And Ryan Blaney up there, Daniel Suarez right behind him. That third lane starting to go. I don't know if they're going to have enough room or not. Ryan Blaney up to the lead now. AJ Allmendinger with a push. Trying to get up there. Chase Elliott right there now, trying to side draft Alex Bowman, trying to get up there. Blaney right now having the push of a lifetime from Alex Bowman. Chase Elliott jumps out of line, get up there in front of AJ Allmendinger, trying to get up there and take back the lead. That third lane's trying to work. It is really, really trying, but there's not enough cars up there to get that thing to work. And they got 5 laps to go in stage 1. At the end of this stage, I mean, they race like it's the last lap sometimes with this, with these stages. On board with Ryan Blaney. Allmendinger is giving a pretty good push to Chase Elliott right now, trying to get him up there. Don't get him too loose. Don't get him sideways, AJ. Corey Heim right back there. Tried to jump out in front of Keselowski. Did not have enough time. That top lane, that third lane's starting to go again. It's weird. That top lane goes and then it dies. Goes and dies. Goes and dies. Goes and dies. It's weird how that happens. Here comes Alex Bowman. Jumped out of line, trying to get the lead away, trying to win this stage. Chase Elliott stuck in the middle. Where does he go? Does he go to the top side? No, he does not. He stays right there in the middle. The top lane now has enough cars to compete. Alex Bowman leads that lap. 3 laps to go until stage end. Now the top lane's starting to die off again, starting to have these 2 lanes. You start seeing cars jump down to the middle lane, and it kills that third lane. Just kills it off. But Bowman up to the lead now. Blaney to the outside with help from Chase Elliott. Top lane starting to go again, unless cars continue to leave the top lane. Coming to 2 to go in stage 1. Pit road is closed. Sparks coming out of those cars. Oh, Blaney did not like that push that Chase Elliott gave him through the corner. Right now, Alex Bowman right now looks like he is the car to beat. Coming to 1 to go until the stage end. Christopher Bell jumps out of line. Third lane starts back up again. I don't think they'll have time. Here comes Christopher Bell with that outside lane. Chase Elliott thought about jumping to the top lane, to the third lane, but there is no third lane right now, unless you want to fall way back. Ryan Blaney thought about it. Christopher Bell blocks him. He's saying, no, you're going to push me. You're going to push me. Here they come. Christopher Bell getting out front. Drops down in line. Ryan Blaney now. He knows what he's doing. He left a big gap behind Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell now getting front trained. Who's going to win stage number 1? Here they come. Side by side. Drag race. Ryan Blaney wins stage 1. No, Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell won it at the line. Man. I need to go back and look at that. So here we are. Coming to the line. I want to get a better angle of this. Here we go. Let's see. Coming to the line. Bell won it by inches. By inches. All this week, from Sunday to now, we've had nothing but photo finishes for the stages. This season is gonna be great. Wow. I mean, Ryan Blaney. While they're under caution, we'll be right back. Don't worry, it won't miss a thing. We're going to go to NASCAR nonstop.
For every turn, a twist. For every start, an untimely finish. For every win, someone who loses it. For every number, a nation. For every celebration, a brawl. For every split second, years of work. For every heaven, a hell. For every good old boy, a good old girl. For every curse, a prayer. For every ounce of order, a jug of chaos. For every twist, there's a turn.
Sellouts.
Oh, look at Kyle Busch out there.
Yeah, he is all over the track.
I mean, what has gotten into him today?
Oh, that cannot be good.
Oh, unbelievable.
Whoa, look out.
Wait a minute. Is Kyle in reverse?
Yeah, you don't see that every day. Okay, that is bad, bad driving.
Oh, this is not like Kyle at all.
Are we winning?
I thought you were looking.
M&M's makes race day more fun.
What is Kyle thinking?
We're doing 110 down at Sandy Beach in Florida. Next, we're bumper to bumper at over 210 on a super speedway.
Yeah, come on.
How the heck we get here? progress. That's how.
Coming to the white flag, and Labonte takes the lead.
75 years of twisted metal, feet made of lead.
He taps him.
Clashing,
Tail hits him. They're out of it.
fighting for everything. Not giving away an inch.
And there's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison.
This isn't just about the 75 years of legends. This is about 75 years of legends and their rocket ships.
1 lap to go.
Each one drafting off of its predecessor. Each one hell-bent at going faster.
He's coming.
Each one built with one thing in
Here they
mind.
come to the line.
Get out front, stay out there.
Side by side.
Because out there is where the future is. And if the first 75 years is any indication, you better brace yourself for the next 75. NASCAR, always forward.
Welcome back to Daytona. That was brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official fan refreshment of NASCAR. Sunoco, fueling victories all season long. And by Goodyear. Goodyear, more driven. Saw they doubled up. Blaney, Elliott, the top ones, Bell, and Keselowski, and Michael McDowell. That's your top 5 for this restart. As we are about to go green here for the second stage. We've got 29, we'll be coming to 28 laps to go. And stage 2, here we go. Pace car off. Green flag in the air.
Green, green, green.
We are racing here at Daytona. Almirola already jumping out to that outside lane. He's got defending series champion Justin Allgaier with him. Don't know how much effective 2 cars are going to be on this restart. Chase Elliott jumps down in line. You see how much of a gap he left between himself and Ryan Blaney. Luckily, he got that filled before Keselowski could get that push from Alex Bowman and get up there and fill that hole. And freight train him on the outside. Keselowski getting a push, a good push from Alex Bowman, keeping them right there with those cars on the inside. Christopher Bell pushing the 21 of Ryan Blaney. And look who's falling all the way back. Christopher Bell jumped out of line. Bell jumped out of line right there, trying to get to the outside of Elliott, trying to get that push from the 2 of Keselowski, and he is gonna get it. Once Keselowski leaves on the outside, no, he's gonna push him all the way through turns 3 and 4. And now he's got enough room to dive in front of Elliott. There he goes in front of Chase Elliott. Christopher Bell once again in the race lead. Brad Keselowski right there in that number 2, trying to get a push. Oh, he didn't like that push that that Bowman gave him. Got him a little sideways right there. And here comes that top lane. Now getting more cars on the top lane. Bowman jumped out of line. He didn't like the push that Busch gave him. Riding on board with Ryan Blaney. You see the cars going around him. And now Brad Keselowski coming up there to take the lead away. No, Chase Elliott jumped in front of him. Keselowski jumping to the outside, trying to get that push from Bowman once again. Alex Bowman pushing Keselowski, doing a phenomenal job at doing it. He pushes Keselowski all the way to the lead as he jumps down to the inside. Here comes the middle lane. See those sparks flying out from under the cars. That's how low the tire pressures are. Bottoms are just scraping on that track. What was that? The driver jumped on the radio and just let off a little bit. Forgot what channel he was on. Right now, Keselowski, your leader of the race. Right now, Bowman getting a push from Kyle Busch. Bowman jumped in front of Kyle Busch, and we saw Kyle was going to the outside lane. He jumped back down to the bottom. 3 wide for second. Here comes the third lane. They're all getting really squirrely right now. I'm really worried that they're going to crash here. How squirrely they're getting. A 4-car breakaway. Bowman fills that gap. Now the middle lane's just kind of dying off. There's drivers just disappearing from the middle lane. And now that third lane's becoming the outside lane again. There's somewhat of a middle lane right back there in the back, but Chase Elliott jumped out of line looking for that push from Kyle Busch. He doesn't need a push. He just jumped right in front. That is too big of a gap. He is going to get freight trained right here. Unless Kyle jumps in line. No, he will not. He is waiting to freight train Chase Elliott. Oh, Kevin Harvick got a big push. Didn't like the push that Noah Gragson gave him, and look how far back it has pushed that top lane. Harvick jumps down to the bottom right there, but not too much. Brad Keselowski now takes back over the lead just by a bumper. Now they're even. I'm telling you, that bottom lane is the way to go here at Daytona. Once that top lane gets that push, that's all it needs. Keselowski back to the lead. Look at the top lane. Look who's up there. Defending. Or sorry, that's not Eric Jones. No, there is Eric Jones. He just jumped down to the bottom. Defending 250 champion. Eric Jones trying to go back to back. He wants to go back to back. I don't think he'll get as lucky as he did last time as Chase Elliott jumps back out to the lead. A wreck on the last lap giving Eric Jones that win. I doubt that'll happen this season. We've been wreck-free for the most part of this race. How about we do a little bit of Crank It Up? cleared up. Brought to you by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. As the top lane starting to get formed back up, Brad Keselowski almost got spun off the front bumper of Chase Elliott. Christopher Bell takes back over the lead. Now here comes Keselowski with a big push from Elliott and Allgaier. Love to see two teammates working together. Getting each other up there. Christopher Bell jumping back out of the line in front of his teammate. Kyle Busch getting a push from Chase Elliott, trying to get back up there to the lead. Now, I will admit, these guys know how to race. And Christopher Bell jumps down on the bottom. You saw that from Chase Elliott's camera, onboard cam. Cody Huddleston up there trying to get that third lane to start working. Nobody really went with him. Well, he's got about two other cars back there with him. But see Bell back out in front. So far, we have been caution-free. Except for the stages. "16 laps to go until stage 2 ends. And it's just a mad dash to the finish. Chase Elliott jumps down in line. Justin Allgaier wanted to go with him, but that hole closed up way faster than what he thought it was, or would. Christopher Bell pushing Chase Elliott right now. Keselowski off skewed from Christopher Bell. Like we've been saying for the most part of this season, the bottom lane is the dominant lane here at Daytona. Christopher Bell jumps back out in front of Justin Allgaier. Holding this lead. So far, it's been a pretty tame race. A little bit three-wide action. A little bit of bumping and shoving, but no crashes. And no crashes at all as Chase Elliott jumps out of line, wanting a push from his teammate. Logano jumps out of the bottom lane to the top lane. Look at this. JGR teammates side by side. Not anymore. He's letting him back inside if he wants to get back in line. There he goes. That screwed everything up right there. 3 wide for the race lead. Keselowski looking good right now. Up on the top side. He has a hole if he wants it. And Chris Buescher jumps up in front of him. This is Kyle Larson at 42. We haven't talked about Kyle Larson at all today, is the 3 wide for the lead once again. So far, so good. 13 to go for stage 1. Keselowski goes all the way down to the bottom lane. Christopher Bell follows him, trying to get a run off of him. As now there's a slight breakaway from those two. Christopher Bell jumping up to the middle lane, passing Keselowski, trying to, with his own speed. That bottom lane though has got enough momentum that he cannot do it. Chris Buescher right behind the 20. So far, so good. Christopher Bell going to jump back out in front of him. Eric Jones did not like that push that Huddleston gave him. Wasn't quite centered. Keselowski jumps out of line. Chase Elliott thought about going with him. And now look what's going to happen. Look how far Keselowski's going to fall back. And the top lane's going to pick him up. Right now, Chase Elliott doing a phenomenal job pushing Christopher Bell. Not really jumping out right now as he usually does. I'm looking for one of these guys to jump out, whether it be Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott. 11 to go until stage 2 ends. There goes Chase Elliott jumping out of line. But they got in that corner. He jumped out way too late, and that top lane's trying to get Keselowski picked back up. Ryan Blaney jumps out of line. Middle lane stacks up. Look at Chase Elliott trying to get Ryan Blaney behind him. No, it's not going to work. Christopher Bell might jump out here. He's got his JGR teammate right behind him. There he goes. Jumps to the outside. Kyle Busch doesn't go with him, though. Here comes the top lane. Here comes that second lane. Picking back up Christopher Bell, pushing him. Might push him all the way past Chase Elliott. Yeah, he does. Now Ryan Blaney leads that second lane. Yeah, Chris Buescher right behind Michael McDowell there. Tried to let Keselowski in, but just could not. Keselowski just did not have enough momentum to get back around him. Look at Chase Elliott now jumping to the outside. Okay, that second lane's starting to move now. Chase Elliott might get around Christopher Bell here. Yes, he does. That's a big gap, though, that he's leaving behind him. Make it a good year for these overhead shots. Phenomenal camera work from Goodyear. 9 laps to go for stage 2. Chase Elliott in that number 9. Leading. And now Christopher Bell pushing him. I don't think he has enough room to jump to the outside yet. And then, with 9 laps to go in stage 2, the driver's patience are starting to run out. See, Allgaier jumping to the very outside. Now the three wide behind Chase Elliott. Pretty soon Chase is gonna have to protect all 3 lanes. Now there's just 2 lanes once again. The third lane is starting to die off a little bit. Well, it's starting to get more cars now as Keselowski jumps out of line from behind Ryan Blaney to go up to that 3rd lane. Trying to get up there. That 2nd lane's starting to die off a little bit. Keselowski up there now leading the 2nd lane. Thought about it, no. He stays in the 3rd lane. Now he goes down to the 2nd lane, going past Chase Elliott with a push from Allgaier. Not really anything going on right now. 7 to go in stage 2. Well, I thought that 2nd lane was gonna go somewhere, but that 2nd lane just never did. Now you got Noah Gragson up there leading that 3rd lane. Chase Elliott jumps out of line, trying to get past Keselowski again. A lot of moving around back there. Now the 8 of Justin Allgaier, Junior Motorsports teammates, 9 and 8. Pushing each other. 8 thought about jumping to the high side, but Chase Elliott doesn't want to go with him. He wants to stay right there in that second lane. And now he wants the first lane. Yep, there he goes, down to the bottom. Down to the inside. 6 to go in stage 2. Wow, bold move by Allgaier, wanting the lead this early. This late in stage 2, I should say. But he jumps to the outside in front of Kyle Larson. 5 to go. Justin Allgaier got the push he wanted, but did hurt Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson's momentum. Junior Motorsports, 1-2. Oh, look at this. Keselowski jumped out of line, but there was no line for him to jump into. Second lane died off. But Allgaier leading this race now. Oh man, sparks coming out of the bottom of that 8. Here comes the third lane. Noah Gragson jumping down to that second lane. But he's going to get freight trained by that third. And now both lanes are starting to die off now. Except for the third lane's starting to go now. Eric Jones pushing the 41 of Almirola. Almirola wants back up to the lead. Now, Almirola, he knows how to lead a pack, and he's getting back up here to the lead. Trying to get there, he does. Eric Jones left all out in the second lane. Junior Motorsports teammates going together. But will they come down together? That is one thing that we have to look at. Justin Allgaier jumps down. Probably waiting for Chase Elliott now to jump down. No, Chase Elliott's not going to jump down. He's wanting to get in front of Allgaier. Here we come. Pit road will be closed this time by, as they take 2 laps to go for stage 2. There it is, 2 laps to go for stage 2. And pit road is closed. Chase Elliott up leading the second lane with Eric Jones right behind him. Almirola going to the outside. Right beside Allgaier. Almirola jumping down to the bottom now. Now, too big of a gap. He's going to get freight trained by the top side. One to go for stage 2. Chase Elliott's there. Eric Jones wants this stage win as well. It's too big of a gap. Here comes Eric Jones. Chris Buescher now to the lead. Will that be too big of a gap? It will. But Austin Cindric going behind his Ford teammate. Here they come, down the front straightaway. Who's going to win stage 2? Cindric jumps out. Here they come. Cindric got it, I think. Yes, Austin Cindric won it by that much. Way to go, Cindric. Everybody letting everybody get back in line here, and that stacks up the rest of the pack. And while they're under caution, we'll be right back. Don't worry, you won't miss a thing. We're going to go to NASCAR Nonstop.
To try it first.
Casey Kane. Where? Casey! Casey. There he is.
Even the best drivers could use accident forgiveness. Part of your choice auto insurance. Only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Hey! Is there anything we could do to help? Anything.
This NASCAR season might just be the greatest season of all time. Like ever. Right out of the gate, we get a blockbuster trilogy of Denny defending Daytona. We got Joey, Kevin, and the people's champ that everyone is chasing. See what I did there? But it ain't all left turns. We're busting out of the oval and taking this tour on the road. Austin's a weird place, man. There's even a throwback race on Mother's Day. There she is.
He was such a nice boy.
That mane is majestic. Speaking of history, how about we throw these two in a confined space for the entire season and see what happens? Boom. All right, just rub a little dirt on it.
I love the smell of fresh dirt in Bristol.
And then a new team from North Carolina is joining the race. But we can't forget about the all-time fan favorite.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Look, all I'm saying is this might be the best season ever.
For more great NASCAR on Fox content, subscribe to our channel. It's somewhere right around here.
Just 95 miles from Atlanta, 50 miles from Birmingham, right off Interstate 20, you'll find me. A 16-month labor of love. My first name was Alabama International Motor Speedway, but that didn't stick. You can just call me Digger. Mr. France wanted a speedway bigger than Daytona, so here I am.
This place is treacherous. Bad, fast.
The fans humble me. They come from far and wide just to see the cars try and best me. Over 100,000 can sit with me. They don't do much sitting, though. Usually, the fans stand in amazement, anticipating the next big one.
And you know West Place is known for the big one.
Here's where Bobby Allison busted me up in 1987. And 22 years later, Carl Edwards hit me back here on my straightaway.
Oh, no! He turns him! No!
I can't say those licks didn't hurt, but I can take it. Shakespeare wrote, yes, I know Shakespeare, that some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. I might actually encompass all three. I'm proud to say that I was the first to see speeds over 200 miles an hour. But after '87, they mandated restrictor plates. Apparently, I was too dangerous. What can I say? I'm fast. When it's race week, ooh, I throw the wildest party in all of NASCAR. Nothing compares to my infield. But those stories, I shouldn't repeat. My start-finish line is further down than the other tracks. This unique trait made for surprising finishes. Drivers leading where other tracks have a finish line are not always winners by the time they cross my finish line.
Here they come! It's Harvick! He timed it perfect!
That fraction of a mile can change history. The man who's seen the most victories here was the Intimidator.
Dale Earnhardt has done it again.
And that success was passed down to his son.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., 4 straight wins at Talladega.
The Earnhardts just get me. I've been a major part of racing history since I was conceived. And I can't wait to see what greatness will be achieved today.
Welcome back to Daytona. We are about to go green. Pace car pulls off. Here we go. About to throw the green flag once again. Green flag back in the air. We're racing again at Daytona. Side by side, entering turn 1. Firing off great. Look at Buescher. What a push by the 34. Now the 34 jumps to the outside. He wants the lead. And he's going to have it with that 10 pushing him. Now a big gap between the 34 and the 17. 34 is guarding both lanes right now. He's going to settle back down in the bottom lane. Here comes Cindric. Cindric on the high side. Right now, leading that second lane. The third lane starting to try and get booted up as William Byron trying to get it started up. He's going to fall all the way to the back. He might lose the draft here if he doesn't get back in line. But Buescher jumps to the outside. Now he's got the lead back from Michael McDowell. Now McDowell pushed him to the lead, and Christopher Bell gets punted out of that second lane. Just didn't like that push. That's all it takes. And look how much of a gap Buescher has. That is going to stall him out. And that is going to allow them to freight train him. The third lane starting to get heated up. Christopher Bell leading that third lane. Only the 6 and the 10 right there on the bottom. Or in the middle lane, I should say. Chris Buescher still has a major lead. Now he's coming back to get Michael McDowell's push. Michael is a good pusher, I will tell you that. Michael is a really, really good pusher. So is Jones. They know how to push here. And something that most other drivers don't really know about is how good they are with pushing. Biggest mover, biggest loser. Let's go. Michael McDowell has gained 27 positions since the start of this race. The biggest loser is Chase Briscoe, minus 26. That is it of the day, but let's see what manufacturer is leading the top 10. That would be Ford. Ford with six cars in the top 10. There was one Toyota. He got bumped out. That was Bubba Wallace. Oh boy. Cindric, hold on to it. He did not like that push that Stenhouse was giving to him. And here comes the bottom lane once again. Or the middle lane. Second lane. First, second, third lane. call it that for the rest of the season, for the rest of the race. In the second lane, Michael McDowell leads it. Stenhouse looking for the third lane to come up. I wouldn't really be looking forward to the third lane coming up because that's just more traffic you got to deal with. And Austin Cindric pushes McDowell out so far. Will someone jump in behind him? No. Instead, Cindric almost jumps out to the high lane. Third lane starting to get riled up here. Alex Bowman leading the third lane. Austin Cindric leading the second lane. And Michael McDowell leading the race. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the 17 of Busher jump out of line here. That second lane. He's going to stay right there. He's probably going to wait until the corner probably to make his move. No, he's going to stay right there, right tucked in behind the 34, unless he does it right here. Yes, he does. I knew he was looking. He was looking for the longest time down the back straightaway. Just couldn't see if that second lane was going to come. But it did, and he has enough momentum now to get in front of McDowell once again. It's just been a toss-over race. Just so far, it's been a toss-over race. There hasn't been any cautions but the stages, and this race has gone perfect. Oh, look at this. Big run. Put Cindric in the lead, but Stenhouse now in the lead now. Here comes Reddick. Right behind him. Pushed him all the way out to the lead. Will he jump down in line? No, he will not. Huddleston back into the top 10. He was all the way back in the back. Found his way up with the second lane. Now down to the bottom lane. Now he's in the top, almost in the top 5. That's the thing about Daytona. If you respect Daytona, it'll respect you. One thing I have learned about Daytona. And here we go. Roush Bush Racing 1-2 up here at the front of the field. Doing a really good job. And Busher jumps down in front of his teammate. Busher jumps back out of line. Or sorry, not Busher, that's Stenhouse. They have basically the same scheme, they're just different shades. They're just inverted colors. Here comes Reddick with the third lane. Reddick thought about jumping down to the second lane. The second lane disappeared on him. Now he's waiting to score in the first lane as he jumps down in front of Stenhouse. Here comes Allgaier. Allgaier jumps in front of him. Now, look who it is. The guy who's led the most laps here. Almirola. Almirola getting pushed by his Ford teammate of Briscoe. Third lane getting started back up here. 29 laps to go. 28 laps to go. No crashes has happened this entire race, and I'm very happy about that. Means we might get this race done early. They're doing a phenomenal job, though. Third lane starting to get riled up again. That second lane coming with Almirola. That first lane. Oh boy. The 45 and the 8. you see Striker Bernoulli back there, and you know what are you waiting on? He's waiting for the big one to happen. That way he can get all the way up there. But I don't know if the big one's gonna happen. They've been really clean this entire race. I don't think a wreck's gonna happen unless they go 4 wide. Almirola getting a push from the 14. And the 41 is gonna jump down in front of the 8. Will the 14 go with him? No, he will not. He will stay right there in that second lane. As the third lane starting to get momentum once again. You know, usually we are pretty caution-free with these races in the Coke Zero Cup Series, as you see the 8 jumping out again, trying to get that lead away from Almirola, but it was too late. It was too late of a decision. He just now got caught by the second lane, and Busher just got left out to dry in that third lane. Third lane is non-existent right now, and the 8 goes back in front with a big gap. It's going to allow the 41 to kind of make his move right here into turn 1. And, yep, here he comes. 17 jumps up there as well, behind the 41. And the 45 pushes the 8. But there's a lot of momentum coming in that second lane. Does the 17 go with the 41? He does for a split second, and he completes that. He goes back out to the high side. He was just looking for a little bit of momentum. And he goes back around the 41. Wow. He timed that perfectly. That was a lovely pass. And the 41 said, I want this win. We only have 25 laps to go. I want to go. Really squirrely back there. I'm a little worried. They might trigger a wreck. All the lanes are going right now. A phenomenal job leading that inside lane. But here comes Almirola with a big run, but that's going to stall him out right there in the dog leg. Allow Chris Busher to lead that lap. Here comes the middle lane. And it's going to allow Almirola to jump down to the bottom. I really wouldn't have done that unless Hamlin's going to go with him. So, okay, that's a good decision. The 3 went with him as well. Austin Dillon. We haven't talked about Austin Dillon all race long, and now Austin Dillon up there now, and the second lane just kind of dies off a little bit, forms back into the top and bottom lane. There's a little bit of a third lane back there. Austin Dillon to the outside, trying to make his mark. He's trying to show, hey, I'm out here, I'm ready to fight for this win. And he's gonna get the lead as well. So Austin Dillon to the lead. Dillon doing a really good job right now leading that outside lane. There's a little bit of damage on the 41. I don't know where he would have got that at. Maybe on pit road? Maybe he hit someone on pit road? Well, it's not damaging the aerodynamics of that car, I'll tell you that right now. Here comes the 14. He's got 3 lines to protect. Dillon left out to dry, where there is no second lane to go to. Almirola now going after his teammate on the high side. Hamlin went with him. 17 to the back of the 14 with a 11 push the 41 all the way to the lead. He will. Does he have enough time to clear the 14? Can he go down? Yes, he does. Coming to 21 laps to go. Right now, Almirola on the job. Why don't we do this? Let's ride. Once they pass the start-finish line, let's take a lap with Almirola. How about that? So here we go. Let's take a lap with 20 to go. Goes by fast when you're with the cup cars. Trucks and Sprite series, they went by pretty slowly, but these Coke Cup cars, they will go by really fast. Third lane dies off. Now it's just the bottom and the top lane again. Here at the front as the 14 dives in front of the 41. The 17, will he go with him? I don't know if he will or not. I mean, I don't feel like he would. No, he won't. He's going to stay out there and lead that second lane. The top lane, the third lane is starting to get a little bit of a run again. .41 outside, trying to get there, trying to get past the 14 once again. On board with him. And you can't really see much. Here comes 17, a pusher. .14, trying to get back around his teammate. Looking for the 17's help here. And he's going to get it. 17 is going to push the 14 around the 41, but now there's a big gap. Remember, we've been talking about the big gaps here. And the second lane just dies out a little bit. Here comes Almirola once again trying to get around the 14. 17 to go. So coming to 16. .14 dives to the inside, but that's a big gap. He leads that lap. I'm surprised. Now that gap is going to be closed up. And Busher now to the bottom. The push from Hamlin. He's got a big gap as well. About a car length and a half of a gap he had. And here comes Almirola. 16 laps to go. That third lane starting to try and get back up again. Trying to, anyway. I don't think they're really going to be able to do anything with that third lane. Well, there they go. They're starting to get up there now. Harvick just kind of left him behind. Bernoulli in the middle. Hamlin leading that second lane. Now look at Harvick, just all by himself, just with that momentum. Now Keselowski comes up there now. Trying to get that 4 up there. 18 pushing the 44. But look at Hamlin trying to get up there to that leader, which is Chris Buescher. $14 laps to go. Patience are starting to run out. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see with their driving styles, they're starting to run out of patience a little bit. The 6 jumps right in front of his Ford teammate and his Roush Bush Racing teammate. He's the top lane, the third lane, starting to get picked up. Starting to pick up pace up there at the top lane. If I was Striker, I'd watch for that third lane to come. And I would jump up there. Get out of that middle lane. Hamlin now leads. Look who's leading that outside lane, though. Alex Bowman leading that outside lane. Now Buescher jumps out to the outside. All by himself, just a big bubble of air right behind him, pulling those 3 along. As now he jumps down to the bottom, that upset Bowman's car just a little bit. Austin Dillon thought about making it 3 wide. Would have been a bad decision right there, especially this late in the race. Costing you all those positions. No one person that knows it all too well, and that's Eric Almirola. Chris Buescher back out to the lead. $12 laps to go. Down the back straightaway. Bowman coming now with a push from Christopher Bell. Bowman going down to the bottom lane. That gives Christopher Bell the opportunity to go with him if he wants to. And he will not. Not even his Hendrick Motorsports teammate of Josh Berry will go with him. Here comes Austin Dillon back to the top, pushing the 24. Look at Dillon going all the way to the outside for that third lane as they come to 10 to go. $10 laps to go. Josh Berry in his rookie season looking for the Daytona 250 win. There's only been 2 rookies that has ever come to win at Daytona. Actually, only one. Technically, he wasn't a rookie. I was going to say Jamie McMurray and Cody Huddleston, but technically, Jamie McMurray wouldn't have been a rookie. Corey Heim! So yeah, Huddleston was the only rookie to ever win the Daytona 250. Heim looking for the win. 9 laps to go. 9 laps to go. Patience are running short. They are all on a short fuse. Look who's up here now. Striker Bernoulli looking for his first 250 win. Logano getting pushed by Striker. Logano to the lead. A big gap behind Logano though now, as here comes Striker Bernoulli with a push from Kyle Busch. Bernoulli to the point as they almost go 4 wide in the back. And Ryan Blaney got shuffled out. He decided to go with it. Striker Bernoulli led his first lap of the day. Looking for some help with Joey Logano. And he does. He gets the help. Does Joey jump out, though? He does. Joey jumps out. But there is no second line to pick him up until turns 1, 3, and 4. Here comes Logano back on the outside. Logano going to jump down in line. They are desperately trying to get that third lane to work. Is that Allmendinger? Allmendinger on the top with Kyle Larson. Bernoulli jumps out of line, looking for that second lane. There is no second lane. Here comes the top lane. Oh boy, they're all getting really wiggly right there in that middle lane. Oh man, 7 to go, coming to 6. Allmendinger out of nowhere. He wants the lead, and he's going to have it. Oh, a little bobble out of the 17. Checked everyone up behind him. Allmendinger now leading. Top lane, 43 in the 8. There's no one else behind them. They are falling back now. Logano back to the point with Kyle Larson. Keselowski looking to make that third lane work. 5 to go at the line. 5 laps to go here at the Daytona International Speedway for the Daytona 250. Patience are now majorly out of the picture. Allmendinger jumps out to the second lane, side drafting the heck out of Logano. Waiting for that second line to pick him up, which they do. They push him through the corner. They do. Does he have enough momentum, though, to clear the 22? No, he doesn't. What about out of the corner? No. Still side by side. Now he does. Now he jumps down to the bottom. 4 to go. If a caution comes out now, the race is over. We'll finish it under caution. We don't have the luxury of green-white checkers. Heim decides to stay on the bottom while everyone else goes on top. Logano now. Here comes the top lane once again. The third lane trying to get made again. Larson stuck the first one in the middle. Now Austin Dillon jumps down to the bottom. So does Austin Cindric. Look at this. We got green flag pit stops happening right now. But AJ Allmendinger stays on track. 3 laps to go. Third lane starting to play a major role here. One of these cars run out of fuel, it's going to cause a pit wreck. AJ Allmendinger, though, leading right now. Bet you anything, those cars that went down there, those are the cars that didn't take fuel on that under that last caution. They only took tires. Any more takers to pit road? Doesn't look like it. Josh Berry with 2 laps to go. Huddleston on the outside, trying to make that third lane work. Here they come, down the back straightaway. If they crash now, it's over. The 13 pushing Josh Berry down the back straightaway. Here they come. Barney has the white flag in hand. White flag in the air, sponsored by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. The next flag is the race, whether it be caution or checkered. Third lane, trying to get going again. Here comes Bowman on the top. He won the finale race last season. Now he wants to come back and he wants to win the season opener. Here they come, down the back straightaway for the final time here at Daytona. Through turns 3 and 4, they're side by side for the race lead. Alex Bowman to the lead with a push from Denny Hamlin. Does Hamlin have anything left? They start trying to make that outside lane work. Alex Bowman has the lead. Here they come to the start-finish line. Hamlin on the outside. And Denny Hamlin at the line. You like that? Denny Hamlin, your season 10 Daytona 250 winner. Man. Let's go back. I want to see that replay. Coming off of turn 4, you saw Hamlin waiting for that right moment as he came down. This was the push. Kevin Harvick gave him the push he needed to get around. And look where Alex Bowman finishes. He finishes 6th. The leader of the race. Just coming out of turn 4. Just wasn't there at the last second. Denny Hamlin, though, wins at Daytona. What an awesome job by Denny Hamlin. Waiting for that push from Harvick, getting that push from Harvick, and Hamlin wins at Daytona. Man. How about that? As everybody else gets into their pit stalls, like always, they're going to go and get checked by the officials. And we will be right back. Well, it's official. Denny Hamlin has won the Daytona 250. Soak it in, Denny. Wherever you want to do it at. There we go. Sunoco fueling victories all season long. And it starts here for all 3 seasons. For all 3 series, I should say. Oh no! He got high centered. Uh-oh, did he get stuck? There he goes. He got it. I know what he wants to do. I don't think he's going to be able to do it here, though. No, he's not going to be able to do it because the banking. I know what he wanted to do, though. And he is lighting those tires up. Oh, in the wall. Slides down the racetrack. He's got to watch those oil temperatures and everything. Gonna go park it on the start-finish line. Oh, into the wall hard. And he parks it on the start-finish line. Join us next week, this Sunday, for the Powerade Truck Series and NASCAR Sprite Series at Lime Rock, as well as the NASCAR Coke Zero Cup Series the following day. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.